Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, I'll discuss the plight of 41-year-old Lolo Jones on her quest to have a baby. Let me begin by saying I like Lolo Jones. She had just the right kind of arrogance one would expect from a competitive athlete. Can her situation be used as a cautionary tale to the ladies who put personal success above their biological imperative? To procreate under the, until the door is nearly closed, is the message that she wants to convey to young ladies who could potentially meet her fate a good one? Or has she learned nothing from her experiences except for the fact that she could not have it all? Lolo Jones was a summer and winter Olympic competitor. She never medaled, but her personality and looks gave her notoriety. She also suffers from pretty privilege. The pretty privilege doesn't make her a bad person, however, but it probably had a major impact on why she is in the position she's in today. Her self absorption in her craft and her pretty privilege most likely made her reject a myriad of suitors that crossed her path in her 20s and 30s. Like many modern women in the, I said black community. I don't know if she considers herself fully black or mixed or whatever, but we're gonna, for the purposes of this, I'm gonna say she's black. Okay, in the black community, she probably left no man. She probably felt no man was worth getting in the way of her ambitions. Her biological clock was probably the last thing on her mind. I'm going to present a video where she discusses her journey to fulfill her biological imperative to have a baby. You will hear her regurgitate the same female talking points about not settling for a lesser man, while she freezes her eggs in preparation for Mr. Right to come along and marry her sometime in the future. As I play the tape, I may add some commentary from time to time, but so here we go. So we're gonna just stop sharing here and share something else on her video. You wanna share? She has some interesting statements on what she plans on doing. So we got that up and running. And
Crashed in a bobsled at 90 miles an hour. I've hit hurdles. I've had hamstring injury, spine surgery, and nothing was more terrifying than starting to even look up the process of egg freezing.
Lolo Jones is one of the few women who's competed in both the Winter and Summer Olympic Games, heartbreakingly missing out on Olympic medals.
Lolo Jones hit the hurdle and did not get a medal.
But now she's setting her sights on a new prize.
I really want a family. I've waited for my husband for so many years.
Why do you think being a mom has been such a big goal of yours?
Being a good mom is very difficult, especially in today's society. It has me nervous. Like, do I have the capabilities, the skill set to care for someone, but I'd like a chance.
You want to be a mom.
I want to be a mom. Yeah.
Earlier this month, as her 40th birthday loomed, Lolo candidly sharing her anguish with 500,000 followers on Instagram.
I'm about to turn 40. There's a lot of stress on me right now.
It was reaching to the point where I'm like going on these dates and I'm like, do I, like, we don't really click, we don't really vibe, but like, do I settle just for the sake of trying to have a kid?
You were willing to settle for less because you thought you were running out of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, and it's really hard when you hit 40.
Lolo took a step to give herself more time, sharing with her followers that she was freezing her eggs.
It's one thing to do this privately. What made you want to share it?
So I know. Why did I decide to share this? Because I wish someone had shared this with me years ago. I honestly, I'm on the brink of waiting too late.
And so if you had that chance to go back in time and talk to your younger self, what would you say?
I would scream at that younger self, do it when you're 25. Do it before you hit 30.
Lolo now hoping to help others harness their fertility.
A simple blood test can tell you your fertility levels. And why did I wait years to do that? Why?
When you talk about approaching 40 or being over the age of 35, I want to be crystal clear. In terms of gynecology and obstetrics, women's best eggs are in their early 20s. What elective egg freezing does is it dramatically expands the decades or time period by which a woman can have her biological child.
Egg freezing involves removing eggs from a woman's ovaries that can later be used for in vitro fertilization, or IVF.
I would put this needle on top and then I would inject it basically either on the left or right. I would rotate.
Mhm.
And then
That first injection was kind of startling.
intense.
It was intense. That's a good word.
I definitely did that wrong. My hand was shaking. I got the needle like halfway in. The medicine, like it was a nightmare.
Rally up!
She showed us how for 11 days she repeated this process, all to prepare for her egg retrieval. Since 2009.
So let me stop that right there. This is tough, but so Lolo had to, go through her thing, and it's pretty tough. So we're gonna get back to this video at another point, but let's just say this: she talks a little bit about what she would tell young women, ages 25 to 30, to freeze their eggs, and I had a problem with the fact that she would talk about that later on. I immediately thought, why is she giving this horrible advice to these young adults? I mean, her message is wrong because it sounds a little self-serving to justify why, she bypassed potentially good men at the height of her fertility and her sexual marketplace value in her 20s and 30s, and waiting for her 40s when her back is up against the wall. I mean, I think she should have, told the kids a little different message. First, freezing your eggs is a very expensive process, for a later IVF. I mean, this is not cheap. When you can have natural ways of having kids at your disposal, if you make up in your mind that you want to be a mother and have kids in wedlock, you have all of your 20s, you have most of your 30s to do it without any geriatric issues. They say geriatric present pregnancy starts at 35, but with modern medicine, there's a whole lot of women having kids in their 30s. I think a better message for women in their 20s would have been to find a man on his purpose and that aligns with your ambitions. And that's the guy you can, start to cleave with. You don't have to get married right away. You certainly don't have to have a baby right away. I said, it seems that only Black women fail to see that being under the cover of a purposeful man will not curtail your professional ambitions. Just having a guy who is on his purpose while you're on your purpose, it's not going to curtail you. Whether you're just going together or you're married, if you do it right, you do the right courting, the right vetting. This is where feminism has deceived women. That's the problem. Feminism has told you you can't have, just get your ambitions satisfied and ignore your biological clock. Pretty much that's what it told them. It seems that every other racial and ethnic group kind of understands, females understand that you can have a man covering you and still meet your ambitions. So let's continue with this video. There's another point that I want to get to that I think makes a little bit more sense. Some more of her talking. So let's.
Join Happy Optimum customers and get 1 gig fiber internet now for as low as $55 a month and save
I hate these commercials.
down.
Determined to preserve her chance at motherhood, Lolo awaited the results of her procedure.
So with Lolo, how many eggs were you able to retrieve?
27.
It's a lot.
She did fantastic. Of the 27 that we had, 17 were mature. So 17 will be able to be fertilized once they're thawed and present her the potential for growing an embryo that can be a baby. She's an Olympian in just about every sense of the word.
But even with 17 eggs on ice, the realization that the road ahead may still be long.
This is the thing about egg freezing that people should know. It is not a guarantee to have a kid.
But for now, she has more time to find the man of her dreams.
It is hard to find a good-looking, funny, vibes, chemistry-wise. Then add, oh, but I also want you to love Jesus and go to church. Like, where is the unicorn?
You've been very public about maintaining your virginity.
Yes.
Is that,
People hate that.
and so, but ultimately, no regrets.
What do you mean no regrets? Are you kidding me? Like, I'm sitting here and I have nobody. No, there's times for sure where it's really hard, but I just feel like those are my convictions. You know, I'm a strong Christian, and that's the gift I want to give to my husband. We were 3-time national champion.
Lolo is stopping at freezing her eggs, still holding out hope that she'll find her soulmate.
There's hope. There really is hope. Like, stop hiding out in your house, crying in the fetal position, because I've done it. There is hope.
Let me stop it right there. And so I hear Lolo Jones. I mean, she's got a plan, and she's intent on sticking with it. Can't be mad at her for that. Well, let me just finally say that you know, she has her preferences. Okay, so you know, Lolo has made some bad comments uh, to further the narrative that there aren't any men out there that understand her plight. I mean, the truth of the matter is, uh, you know, you know, I think that she's wrong about that. I mean, she's looking for a unicorn, and now she's not wrong that what she's looking for is a little bit too much. I mean, she's kind of over, you know, priced herself outside of the market because she is looking for that unicorn. She wants this, you know, high-powered man, you know, high achieving man who would wait to have sex when they're married. Okay, so she wants to enter marriage as a virgin, which I personally think is something to be admired. Matter of fact, I think her message should be more about virtue, you know, holding your virtue until you find that right guy. The problem is that the kind of guy who is a high achieving, high and voluntarily celibate at the same time is rare. It probably doesn't even exist in the West. Where's she going to find a guy like that? Because high achieving men are pretty much probably highly sexual. Now, for her say that she didn't find any guy, I really have a problem with that because at one point she was going with Russell Wilson. I think they were seen together. I think they had a small, brief relationship. I don't know what happened. I don't know whether she left him or he didn't work it out with him. But he definitely seems like the kind of guy who would wait to marriage to have sex with a girl. At least he gives that impression, right? You know, he says some, you know, things about him and Sierra waiting before they had sex at some point in time. So I don't know why he wouldn't have done that for Lolo Jones. So certainly he is not beneath her, not financially. You know, he's reserved. So it's not like she didn't run into any kind of guy who would fit her bill. So something else went wrong there. Anyway, finally, you know, I sincerely wish Lolo Jones the best of success on her journey of becoming a mom. However, I wish her message would have been a little bit more realistic for younger women. You know, so I would tell younger women, don't ignore your biological clock. No, don't be a baby mama. Don't go out there just having baby like a wildebeest out there, like a lot of women do. I think that's a mistake. We see how that has destroyed the communities, having babies with men you don't even like, or just guys you try to trap, or guys you think you could have a baby and then turn these guys into, fathers. That's crazy. It doesn't work. We have too many examples that doesn't work. So if you want a kid, you have to cultivate a marriage with somebody. So you marry before you carry. That should be the message. So you tell the women to kind of, how do women get started to meet the kind of guys they might want to go. If you're a college educated woman, you're around a whole bunch of men, while you're in school. These guys have potential for greatness. You don't have to sleep with them, but you could definitely put their names, their professions and stuff in a Rolodex for later reference. Some of those guys in your same profession, some of those guys are some other ones. You'll probably never have a better concentration of males around you than when you're in college to at least meet and to network with. So once again, folks, please be sure to like, share, subscribe to my channel. Comments are always welcome, encouraged. If you have not already, please watch some of my previous videos. In one of them, a couple of them, I have on Black folks divesting from the Democrat Party. I think we need to move on from that party because our inner cities are a mess, and the ultra liberal, anything goes policies has not helped us in the last 70 years. Not really. We got to stop being afraid of racism and all that kind of stuff and just worrying about slavery and things and that. This constant victimization and people using victimization against us to get what they want has got to stop. We got to move on and we got to do something different because, just following Democrats blindlessly has not done us good as a community or what's left of it. The other thing is I have a 10-step to courting and vetting a woman for marriage. This is for young men who want to be married. I got 10 steps. They're not all inclusive. You probably can think of some steps yourself, but go back through my video collection, find that one and listen to it, study it. It has both secular and non-secular, information in there. So if you're religious, there's something in there for you. So again, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you get a couple of nuggets out of my video, you'll be better off than you were before. Our pain over and out.